not just competing with them. There are also new technologies you always have to adapt to. The big ones being digital, cloud, AI. If you're a legacy coverage, doesn't mean you're bad. It just means we've deployed huge amounts of technology in the past, which now has to be put into new data centers and new databases, and to make it accessible to AI or to digital and stuff like that. So the investments are huge.
Is there anything you want to say about artificial intelligence and on a practical matter, how it's going to change our lives and our banking?
It is, first of all, to have it. We just put a woman, Teresa Heston, right there on our management committee who's our chief data architect. And so it's both AI and data because they're directly related. And that's how important I think this is. If we already have 300 use cases against risk, fraud, credit, marketing, movement of money, trading, hedging, it's real. And you got to get from a management standpoint, it's going to be part of the management conversation all the time. It's going to change a tremendous amount of stuff. In healthcare alone, it may come up with new compounds. It could do a better job diagnosing diseases, preventing diseases. God knows what it's going to do for people. It may have some downside. Very hard to figure out how you should regulate it, but there might eventually have to be some regulations around it. And so, and the bad guys are going to use it.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So like I told you, I definitely see a big pullback in the first quarter. Then the master magician set up a distraction so the Fed can cut rates, and then we move up. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, guys, we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back. I think about 1 o'clock this morning, I first checked it. We were moving up, and now we're pulling back. Guys, don't forget we're the only game in town today. Martin Luther King holiday. And we have CME, the stock market, the bond market is closed. We're not going to get a lot of liquidity, guys. We can look at the repo. We know everything is pulling back, but we definitely should move up. But as we know, as the stock market is opening, we'll be pulling back. Now we have JP Morgan sees significant capital from exiting crypto products pouring into new spot Bitcoin ETFs. And we're definitely going to see a reallocation of capital, but guys, it's going to start moving into the utility tokens. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Michael Saylor has been removing 80 deep fake videos of himself daily. And guys, we know he shouldn't have to do that. We know someone is paying for these videos, and they shouldn't even be allowed to be uploaded. Guys, you have to have an account. You have to go through security, because guess what? I can show you proof. I tried to do advertisement. They told me I couldn't do it based on my video that I wanted to advertise. So they definitely review the videos, because you know mine was about the NWO, and they wasn't having it. But guys, yesterday, those bots were good to me. I love you, bots, if you're listening. I love you. I love you. Keep it coming, bots. Keep it coming. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates on Friday down. We have the dollar right now slightly up. We have volume in crypto slightly up. We have Tether, USDC, and TUSD. And we have the United Nations warns Tether is becoming a preferred method for money laundering and scammers. And guys, we know this is nothing but the Hegelian dialectic. What did Brock Pierce tell us? That he's been working with the United Nations. That's the reason why I bring you the video, so therefore you can hear it out of their mouth. And it's easy for you to piece the puzzle together. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Fed and we have the repo at $603 billion. And when it comes to the financial mainstream media, that's all they keep talking about is the Fed is going to cut rates. Even though we see inflation is still here. But guys, we know that's corporate greed. And now we have Davos going on this week. And everybody's saying inflation is here to stay for a little longer. And guys, that's the reason why we know we hear the drums are beating. Now we have Fidelity says Fed rate cuts could be a boom for DeFi and stablecoins. And yes, it will. But we know, guys, this is part of a plan. We're moving into a simulation. We know when the Fed does cut rates, it's going to help all markets. And this month, we have the Treasury. And guys, you know I speak about it, and they write about it. We have U.S. debt announcement may be pivotal for crypto. And the Treasury is going to be borrowing about $816 billion, almost $1 trillion. In the first quarter, and that sets a record. But don't forget, guys, Janet Yellen and Steve Mnuchin had an opportunity to push this debt out 50 years. But the same reason why the Fed printed trillions is the same reason why they didn't push it out. Is because the fourth industrial revolution is knocking on the door. They want the robots, algorithms, and drones to take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep to go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin spot ETFs, Grayscale, BlackRock, and Fidelity down on Friday. And we saw a big pullback on crypto once they were approved. So now we know in about a month, the mainstream media is going to be pushing the narrative of the Bitcoin halving. And again, if the Fed hasn't cut rates or the emerging markets haven't flipped that switch on the fourth industrial revolution, we're not going to get that big pump just yet. Now, getting over into a little crypto news, we have Google Cloud joins Flare Network as validator, and we see Flare pumping today. And we know these clouds control crypto. So that means the same big corporations control crypto. Now we have Moody's says adoption of tokenized funds signal untapped market potential. And guys, we know everything's going to be tokenized and put on blockchain, even though in the United States we're going to go 10 years with no growth. With tokenization, this will allow the small retail investor to invest globally. So when real estate is tokenized and put on blockchain, you could be buying a piece of property overseas with a group of people you never met. Never forget, guys, technology can be used for good or evil. And that's the reason why it's so important for you to understand the technology, so therefore you don't fall for the devil's tricks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And lastly, guys, we have Celsius transfers 125 million of ETH to exchanges as FTX and Alameda dump. And we're definitely going to get sell-offs in crypto. We're going to get a few of them. We still have thousands and thousands of coins, and we know the Fed is shrinking liquidity. And that means all that money that was being thrown around is no longer going to happen. So a lot of these projects are going to fall by the wayside. And plus, we know crypto is going to be used as that excuse to take down the rest of these small and medium-sized banks. They can't survive in the fourth industrial revolution because we know they're based on fees. And in the fourth industrial revolution, we're talking about real-time settlement, taking a lot of these fees away but then you also need a whole bunch of liquidity. And that's why we have the Basel III, which they know the small and medium-sized banks can't compete. But guys, again, we know the reason why. 99% of people don't understand the fourth industrial revolution, the actual technology that's sitting behind the curtain ready to be rolled out. And remember, guys, we've already been through this simulation. They're ready to roll out the real plan. Not 10 years from now, not 15 years from now. They're ready to roll it out now. They just need that one crisis. Because remember, during a crisis, you can do things you never thought could be done. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team Save the Village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team Save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.